Today, I want to talk about something everyone has, but nobody wants to own up to: envy. First, let me share something that's actually pretty hard for me to admit. About 10 years ago, I had a very close friend. We both started out as content creators at almost the exact same time. I actually got a slightly earlier start, and in my head, I thought my work was more thoughtful and more intentional than his. But his channel blew up way faster than mine. The brand deals, the followers, he was light years ahead. For a while, I actually dreaded opening his messages. It wasn't that our friendship had soured. It was just that every time he shared good news, I'd feel this heavy, suffocating weight in my chest. I couldn't quite put words to it. It just felt wrong. Back then, I kept telling myself, I'm happy for him. But that feeling, it wasn't happiness, not even close. Then one day, he posted an update. He had just signed with a brand that I had been dreaming of working with for months. After I saw it, I just flipped my phone face down on the desk and sat there in silence for a long, long time. That was the moment I finally admitted it. That weight in my chest? It was envy. Admitting it felt shameful, but strangely enough, it was also a massive relief. Hi everyone, I'm your mindset companion. Today, we're diving into that dark side everyone has but nobody admits to: envy. We're not going to talk about how to suppress it, but how to stop it from draining you and turn it into the most efficient feedback system you own. Niels van de Ven, a psychologist at Utrecht University, once came to a conclusion that most of us find hard to swallow. Envy is a universal emotion. It spans cultures, ages, and backgrounds. No exceptions. But here's the interesting part. In their surveys, over 70% of people went out of their way to avoid using the word envy. Instead, we say things like, I am just competitive, I am a little jealous, or I feels unfair. In plain English, we've all felt it, but none of us want to admit we're envious. This collective denial isn't an accident. From the time we're kids, we're taught that envy is petty, small-minded, or immature, so we push it down. We pretend it's not there, or we wrap it up in a different label. But suppressed emotions don't just die. They just find a darker place to hide. In 2009, the National Institute of Radiological Sciences in Japan ran a brain imaging experiment. They had participants read scenarios about someone similar to them achieving massive success while monitoring their brain activity. The results showed that when people experience envy, the most active part of the brain is the anterior cingulate cortex. And what does this area normally handle? Physical pain. To put it simply, your brain processes envy through the exact same system it uses for a physical injury. That tightness in your chest when you're envious isn't you being dramatic. Your brain is literally processing a signal of pain. The research found something else, too. When the person being envied later suffered a setback or a failure, the pleasure centers in the participants' brains lit up. There's a specific German word for this: Schadenfreude. It translates to finding joy in someone else's misfortune. This feeling is almost a primal human instinct. The stronger the envy, the higher the level of Schadenfreude. It sounds brutal, but this is the unfiltered reality of being human. Psychology splits envy into two types: malicious envy and benign envy. The core motive of malicious envy is, I wish you didn't have that. It drives you to belittle them, sabotage them, or spend hours in your head proving why they don't deserve what they have. This kind of envy is a massive drain on your energy. But benign envy is different. Its core motive is, I want to have that too. It drives you to learn and to level up. This kind of envy is actually a signal. It's telling you what you truly desire. It's the same emotion, but the direction changes everything. Van de Ven's research confirmed that benign envy produces a much stronger motivation to learn, while people with malicious envy fall into a cycle of aggression and self-loathing. So, where's the turning point? It's all about your perception of fairness. If you believe the other person's success was fair, envy usually turns benign. But if you tell yourself it was just luck or connections, envy almost always turns toxic. Going back to my own story, During that time, the one thing I kept doing in my head was arguing that my friend's success was just luck or better resources. Looking back, that was my brain's way of using malicious envy to protect my ego. Because if I admitted his success was fair, I'd have to admit that, in some ways, he was simply doing better than me. And that realization was a lot harder to swallow than the envy itself. Eventually, we sat down and really talked. He shared the sheer amount of work he was putting in behind the scenes, details I had never even considered. After that conversation, that clogged feeling in my chest disappeared. It was replaced by a genuine spark to learn. The envy didn't disappear, but its direction changed. The existence of envy means you care. It means you have desire. It means you haven't given up yet. A person who truly doesn't give a damn about anything will never envy anyone. So, the next time that familiar weight hits your chest, don't rush to deny it, and don't rush to judge yourself. Instead, ask yourself one question. Is the thing I am envying something I truly want for myself? If the answer is yes, then that envy deserves your respect. It's not the ugliest part of you. It might just be the most honest part. Alright, that's it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, feel free to subscribe. Thanks for watching.